Hello, friends. Good evening, all of you. I'm CA Meena Verma. I'm your host for the subject Strategic Cost Management and Performance Evaluation. In today's session, we will cover the second chapter of our subject, Modern Business Environment. So, this is the chapter which we will cover today in today's session. So before understanding this subject, I want to tell you one more again that the entire subject is somehow linked to each other. So I will use the concept which you have studied in chapter 1. Some of the concept I'll use in this same chapters in this modern business environment. Okay. So this business environment in today's business environment is very competitive. You know that the environment is very competitive. Okay, it's very dynamic and it's keep on changing and it's keep on affecting by various factors. So if you want to take any decision for your business organization, you have to consider a broader picture. This is what we have discussed already, that we will discuss a broader picture. We will consider the internal environment and we will consider the external environment. Now external environment will cover everything. So in this way, if we will take a decision related to business, we will consider a broader picture. Now one more reason why is there is need of considering and taking decisions strategically. What are why we are not using the traditional method of costing, and why there is need of strategic cost management and performance evaluation. Because right now, because what happened in today's environment, the business has shift from seller market to buyer's market. The market has shift to seller to buyer market. Now ma'am, what does you mean by saying buyer's market? What is the meaning of buyer's market? The market has shift to buyer's market means the number of buyer in the markets are concentrated. See, because now since the technology has changed. Okay, because of globalization, because of removal of trade barrier, okay, removal of trade barrier and easy transportation. Now the transportation is very easy. These are few reasons that the market has shifted now. Earlier the market was a seller market. Now what was the seller market and what is the buyer's market? Previously what happened, the number of seller were less in the market, number of seller were less, and the number of buyer were more. Okay, number of seller were less, number of buyer were more. Therefore, the seller were in a position to dictate the market. They were in a position to dictate the market, and this was seller market. But now what happened, because of the removal of all the trade barrier, because now because of technology, it's very easy to do business worldwide. It's very easy because we have removed all the barriers. Now you can use, for example, if you had a shop earlier, for example, you had a shop in some place, like you had a shop in Karol Bazaar in Delhi. Previously, you had the shop in Karol Bazaar. Okay, now what happened? Previously you sell all your product through this shop. Okay, you want to sell any of your product. For example, you have a garment shop and you want to sell all the garments. Okay, in such case, what happened? You use this shop for selling your product. But now what happened? Now there is a platform, online platform. So previously what happened, you might have monopoly in Karol Bazaar and you can sell your product at some particular place, and there were few seller in the market. Okay, so previously the market was a seller market. Now what happened, because of change in technology, because of the change in trade barriers, globalization, many other reasons, it's very easy to use such kind of platform, and you can sell, now you can sell your product in entire country, not just in entire country. Now it's very easy to sell your product even abroad. So what happened, it's very easy for the seller to sell their product worldwide. Now what happened, you are not the only one who is selling the product, there are many other people, there are many other sellers. So because of such kind of change in technology or creation of online platform, the number of seller has increased in the market, because now the market has expanded, the entire country is a market. So now the number of seller has increased in the market, and the number of buyer comparatively, you can say that, reduce. Okay, so the market has now become a buyer market. Now the market has become a buyer market. There are large number of sellers, those who are using online platform, and they are selling their product through online platform. Okay, so the number of seller has increased because of the removal of all barriers and using of technology, online platform and all. This is just an example, I can give you many more examples. Okay, so because of which the market has shifted from the seller market to buyer's market. Now what happens, since the competition has begun between the supplier, because the number of supplier has increased, concentration of suppliers, so the competition amongst the supplier, these supplier or seller, I will say the seller, I will use the word, number of seller has increased, so the competition between them has increased. Now the buyer are in position to dictate the market, and you have to keep them happy. If you want to remain competitive in the market, you want to compete with your competitor, in such case, you have to keep your buyer happy. Okay, the market is buyer have upper hand in the market, they are in position to dictate the entire market. So all the seller, those who are in the market, they all try to keep the buyer happy. So that is why I'm saying that this subject is all about keeping the customer happy. You have to keep your customer happy. Why? Because customer is king. Now the market is buyer's market, number of buyer are less, number of seller are more, there is more competition in the market between the sellers, so everyone try to keep the customer happy. Everyone tries this, and therefore the customer is not just demanding product at least price. They are not just demanding the product at less price, but you have to give them quality product. Now the customer is demanding a quality product. The customer is more focused on the quality, any kind of product. So that is why this entire subject, even the entire subject, not just this entire chapter, the entire subject is based on keeping the customer happy. Okay, I will use this word in almost an entire chapter of your subject, that the customer is king and we have to keep our king happy. Why? Because now the market has shifted from the seller to buyer's market. Number of seller are more in the market. There are more competition between the seller. Okay. So this is what happened right now. And therefore, previously it was good to use traditional cost management. It was good to use, when the market was seller market, it was good to use traditional cost management. But since the market has become a buyer market, it is good to use strategic cost management, because the competition has increased much in the market between the seller. Okay, so there is need of using strategic cost management, means taking the decision strategically, considering a bigger picture for taking decision. Okay, now let us consider more topic. So today's market is a buyer market. The number of sellers are concentrated in this market. The number of buyers are less. So we have to keep our customer. If you want to remain competitive in the market as compared to other competitor, other seller, you have to keep them happy by providing them quality product. Now the customer is not just requiring the product at less price, because it is very easy for the customer to compare the prices in online platform. You can see that if you want to buy any product, you can compare the prices of different brand and everything. Okay, it's very easy to do comparison in online platform. Okay, so since the customer is right now, the customer is not just demanding product at less price, the customer is also demanding a quality product. Okay, so we have to keep them happy by providing quality products. So this entire subject, we will talk about quality. Okay, why we will talk about quality? Because we want to keep our customer happy, and for keeping them happy, we need to give them a quality product. Okay. So in this chapter, the topic which we will cover is cost of quality, total quality management, supply chain management, and other modern concept. In today's session, we will cover these two topics: cost of quality and total quality management. These two topics we will cover today. Okay, we will cover these two topics today. Cost of quality. This is the first topic which we will cover. But okay, we will cover this topic, cost of quality. Before discussing this topic, cost of quality, let me give you few example why quality is so much important. We have discussed that we are trying to provide quality product to our customer. So before understanding this importance of quality, I want to give you few example of few companies which give you a reason to believe that quality is very important for providing good services to the customer, for keeping the customer happy. Quality is important. I will give you some example, like I will give you example of Toyota company. I will give you example of Cadbury. Okay, Cadbury chocolate, Toyota company, and BP. BP is like Indian oil company in India. BP is a company of UK. So what happened? These two companies, the biggest quality failure in entire world. These two companies had the quality failure in the entire world. So these three examples will tell you that why quality is so much important. Toyota had done biggest quality failure in their life in 2009. 2009, what happened? They emergency recall many millions of their cars, and giving you an example. What happened? Toyota company, they emergency recall their car, which they have already sold to their customer. Now why this company has recalled their car? Because their car had some defective brakes in their car, and defective floor mats, because of which what happened, 52 accident take place. Okay, 52 accident took place, and 38 people 52 people died and 38 people injured. So this is an example that quality failure in their company. Though you will study in chapter 3 that most of the quality revolution comes from Toyota company, most of the beautiful business strategy related to maintaining the quality and improving the quality of the organization comes from Toyota company. Okay, so this company was, I can say that this company brings revolution in quality. But in 2009, there were some quality failure in the company. Okay, similarly Cadbury, if you know that in 2003 what happened in 2003, you people noticed some worms in Cadbury chocolate, and that was a quality failure by Cadbury company. FDA has launched a complaint against this Cadbury company that why this worm is present in the chocolate, and the chocolate company, the Cadbury company, claimed that this is not our default, this is not our fault, this fault is related to packing and packaging. So this is how they, FDA and Cadbury, they argue with each other, but this hampered the sale of the company, Cadbury company, quality failure. And then they revamp themselves. You know, the double packaging of Cadbury comes from after that incident. So these are the biggest quality failure. I will talk about this also later on. Okay. So these are the quality failures which teach a lesson to entire world that quality is very important for any organization. Maintaining the quality is very important for any organization. Okay, now quality means, cost of quality means what cost is required to maintain the quality. You want to maintain the quality, and for maintaining the quality, what cost is required by an organization. See, they're saying that there are four type of cost. Cost of quality, we will talk about four type of cost. One is prevention cost, one is appraisal cost, one is internal failure cost, and one is external failure cost. These are all costs which is related to either maintaining the quality in the organization or correcting the product or services in order to maintain the quality of the product or services. This is a very important topic. Okay, and we will study about this. Maintaining the quality in the organization. Now, before studying this cost of quality, let us first consider three views of the people regarding maintaining quality. There exists three views among the people about the quality. Some people says that if you want to make quality product, if you want to maintain the quality in the organization, you have to incur high cost. Means higher the quality means high cost. So you have to decide that whether you want quality or you want to reduce the cost. This was a traditional method. Even I will say the people, those who teach traditional cost management, they will say that either you have to maintain the quality in the organization or you have to think about the cost. Okay, so they talk about like this, that either you have to maintain the quality or you have to consider the cost. While some other view exist, they actually exist after the biggest quality failure in the world. I will say the biggest quality failure of Toyota company, which is done by the Toyota company and BP company. They have done the biggest quality failure in the world. Okay, and that quality failure teaches that if you maintain the quality in the organization, saving are greater than cost of improving the quality. Now, what does this mean? Saving are greater than cost of improving the quality. What does this mean? They are saying that if you have maintained your initial process of the entire organization, the entire process of the organization, the entire system of the organization, all the people, those who are working in the organization, all the people, all the employee, I will say employee, the employee, those who are working in the organization, everything. If you keep your process, every activity which you have studied in value chain analysis, every activity of the business organization, every system, everyone in the organization, so perfect, so good, that whenever you produce the goods, you will produce a quality product, and there are no chances of producing the defective product. Okay, so in such case, if you maintain the quality initially, in such case, the cost will be less as compared to if in any case there is any problem in any of your activity of your business organization, or there is any problem in any of the process or system or employee of the organization, if the employee has not done any work properly, because of which quality failure arises. If anywhere your machine was not working properly and you have not checked the machine was not working properly, and because of which the quality failure arises in the organization, and because of which what happened, quality failure arise. Now they are saying that quality failure arise. Now they are saying that cost at this place will be more. In such case, cost will be more. If a failure will arise later on, you have not maintained your process system anywhere, so you have done some fault, because of which quality failure in your organization arise, then cost of correcting that thing, means that process or that activity, will be more. Cost of correcting that will be more. Can you give me an example, ma'am? Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of Cadbury company. You can see that worms in Cadbury chocolate. This happened in 2003 in the month of October, when there was a festive season. You know that October, November is a festive season. Okay, this is the month of festive season, and at the same time, people notice the worm in Cadbury chocolate, because of which the media has done negative publicity of Cadbury company, and because of which everyone was like, how Cadbury chocolate, in Cadbury chocolate worms can come. So the sale of the company, instead it was expected that this is a festive season and the sale will increase by 15 to 20% because of the festive season. You know, Cadbury do a very good marketing strategy, they follow very good marketing strategy. So they were expecting that during this festive season, because this is the season of Diwali festival, the sale will increase by 15 to 20%. Instead they were expecting to increase the sale. Because of this negative publicity done by media, they showed everywhere, in newspaper, television, everywhere they showed this news, because of which the sale of the company falls drastically, 30% or more than that. And the reputation of the company has lost their reputation. Cadbury was the number one chocolate in India. People love Cadbury chocolate, and Cadbury has captured the maximum market in India, Cadbury chocolate market in India. But after this incident of 2003, the reputation of the company has lost its reputation, the sale has declined a lot. So because of this, these two reasons, I will say, because of these two reasons, the revenue of the company has lost revenue of the company. Wait. Because of this, the sale has decreased. So this was a loss for the company. Sale by 30% means the contribution has reduced by 30%, and profit of the company has reduced by 30%. Sale has reduced by 30%, so the profit of the company has reduced respectively. Also, the reputation of the company has decreased. So you can see, if your reputation will get damaged, it will affect your long-term survival. Okay, so the long-term survival of the company was in danger. Okay, so I can say that this loss of the company was inestimable. Okay, you can measure this loss of sale, you can measure, but the reputation you have lost in the market is inestimable. So this was the loss. Why? Because of some reason if, the company has claimed that the packaging of the chocolate was not good, because of which this loss has arisen. Huge loss. This was the huge loss for the company. Instead, cost of packaging the chocolate was very few. The company can import the machine from outside India, and they can package the chocolate in better manner. Then in such case, no such incident will took place. है ना? Okay, so no, see, then the company has introduced this double packaging. So what I want to say here, that if you will not maintain the process, and due to any reason the quality failure in the organization will arise, in such case the loss will be more as compared to maintaining the quality. This will cost you less. Instead of this loss, this will cost you more, much more. So maintaining the quality is not expensive. Maintaining the quality of, so this case will help you to understand that maintaining the quality in the organization is not expensive. This was our previous thought. If you want to maintain the quality, it will cost you. No, if some quality failure will arise in your organization, then it will cost you a lot. So maintaining the quality is not expensive. Okay, maintaining the quality is not expensive. This is a lesson for all of us. Okay, good quality is cheap. What it is said that Joy has said that good quality is cheap. It is poor quality that is expensive. So this is a contradictory statement of the first statement. Good quality is cheap. It is poor quality that is expensive. So I hope that you can understand the difference between these two lines. These two lines are contradictory to each other. You people can ask me any of your query also. If you have any query, you can ask me. Okay, so these two statements are contradictory to each other. They are not same. Okay, now the next, I will say these two statements are somehow similar to each other. Not exactly same, but somehow similar. But these first two statements are contradictory. Now let us understand these two statements. Next two statements. They are saying that resultant saving are greater than cost of improving quality. You can write here example of Cadbury. Example of Cadbury. Okay, now the next, they are saying that quality costs are those incurred in excess of those that would have been incurred if the product was built or service performed exactly right the first time. Now, what is this? In this statement, they are saying that you should produce a quality product right the first time. Don't do like you are producing a defective product. You are doing the production. You are doing the production and you are producing a defective product. You are producing a defective product, then you are trying to correct that. So if you will incur, in this case, you will incur the cost on correcting the defects. Okay, so they are saying that keep your entire process of the organization, keep the system, keep the employee, keep everything so perfect, so good that the chances of production of defective product, the chances of production of defect is almost nil. Okay, I hope you understand. This is the base of our entire this chapter and next chapter. Keep everything so good, the entire system of the organization, the entire process of the organization, all employee, all your policy, Everything so good that the chances of defect in the product or defect in the services is almost nil. Is it possible, ma'am? Yes, it is possible. Can you give me example? I will give you example, but I will not explain you right now. The example of Motorola company. Motorola has introduced Six Sigma plan first time in their company, and it's an example of producing almost zero defective product. So we have a live example, and it's a very old company. If you know that Motorola is a very old company, okay, so they have given us live example of producing nil defective product, almost nil defective product. So yes, it is possible if you follow such strategy in your organization. Everything, the system, process, everything so good that the chances of production of defective product is almost nil. Okay. Okay, now again let us consider these 3 points. You know that first point, this first point, this first point is contradict to these 2 points. Okay, and we use this point, we can apply this point in traditional cost management, while in strategic cost management we will apply these two philosophy. This is about strategic cost management, remember. Okay, we can apply first point in traditional cost management. In traditional cost management, we think that if we want to produce high quality product, it will be costly. So we have to take a decision between the quality and cost. Either we have to produce a good quality product, or we have to reduce the cost of the product. Okay, so we have to take decision accordingly, and this was the philosophy of traditional cost management. Now the philosophy in strategic cost management is either that resultant saving are greater than cost of improving quality, that if you initially apply everything good, the saving will be more. Instead that you have done something wrong and defects arises in your organization, then you are incurring the cost of correcting them, like the example of Cadbury company. Okay, so we have some points to note here, that good quality is cheap, it is poor quality that is expensive. Okay, cost is more important than quality. This is important. Now we have discussed this in traditional cost management, that cost is important and you have to take decision between the quality and cost. But let us read forward that they have written cost is important, cost is more important than quality. Okay, but quality is the best way to reduce the cost. If you want to reduce the cost of the organization, you should maintain the quality everywhere in your organization. Okay, the bitterness of poor quality remain long after the sweetness of low prices forgotten. So I hope these 3 points will help you to understand that quality is so much important. Okay, and if you will maintain such process in the organization, then the saving will be more, instead of incurring some defects and then correcting that defect. In such case, the cost will be more. Okay, I hope you understand this. Now the third point is saying that produce the quality right the first time. Okay, don't produce a defective product and then trying to correct that defect. Don't do these things. Okay, producing a defective product and then trying to improve that, don't do that. Okay, so quality first, do it right the first time. Quality is not an act, it's an habit. Quality means doing it right when no one is looking. This is what Henry has said. Yes, the Maggie, you know that Maggie noodles was banned for some time period. That was also comes under quality failure. Okay, that was also come under Maggie is the same case as of Cadbury company. Okay, good example. Shalini. Okay, so I hope you understand this. Now, ma'am, how is it possible to produce the quality product right the first time? For this, we will study about this thing in this chapter also and this next chapter, that is chapter 3, we will study about that how quality right the first time, how to do this. This is not easy to understand. I want to tell you this, that understanding this concept is not an easy task. Okay, you have to apply your brain. Okay, now we have to understand about the component of cost of quality. Cost of quality is what? Quality, what do you mean by saying cost of quality? What cost is required to maintain the quality? Okay, cost of quality means the cost you have to incur in order to maintain the quality. Okay, costs you have to incur in order to maintain the quality. And we have already discussed about this prevention cost, appraisal cost, internal failure cost, and external failure cost. Let me give you more explanation about these concepts. Now, from prevention cost, I hope from this word, prevention, you have heard this from the doctors many times, that prevention is better than cure. Okay, same thing I'm applying here, that prevention is better than cure. Prevention means keep everything in your organization, the system, the entire system of the organization, the entire process of the organization, all the employees of the organization, all the activities of value chain, everything so good, so perfect, that the chances of production of defects is almost nil. If this prevention cost will be highest, if this cost will be high, means everything is so good that the chance of production of defect is nil. Chances of production of defects is nil. Okay, now ma'am, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. I have given you example of Motorola. Okay, we will discuss this in detail more later on. Motorola. Okay, now I want to tell you one thing, that higher the prevention cost, lower is the other appraisal, internal failure, and external failure cost. Higher the prevention cost, lower is the appraisal, internal failure, and external failure cost. Okay, but before understanding this line, let me first tell you what is appraisal cost, what is internal failure cost, and what is external failure cost. So I hope you have understand about the meaning of prevention cost. Prevention means preventing, okay, means keeping everything, the system, the process, everything so good that no defect arises. But in some case, if we don't want to incur this cost much, I don't want to incur this prevention cost much. In such case, somewhere I will reduce the cost. Okay, prevention cost somewhere, somehow, that for example, I'm not providing proper training to my employee for producing the goods. Okay, in such case, what happen if the employees are not trained? They will produce defective product. Okay, so in some places, if I sacrifice somehow some prevention cost, then what will happen? The defect, my organization will produce defects. Okay, if the prevention cost will not be high, if the prevention, I will not use the word, if the prevention will not be high, if for example, I have given you an example of if, for example, I'm not providing proper training to my employee. In such case, what happen? If my employee are not properly trained, they will produce defective products. Okay, and if the defective products will come, then there is need to check them. For example, I'm producing 100 units or 100 products, and I know that out of these 100 unit, few of the unit will be defective, and I don't want these defect to reach to my customer. I don't want these defect to reach my customer. So what will I do? I will do some audit, checking, or testing. I will do all these things. If I know that the prevention is not so good, I have not properly trained my employee, and that is why it is expected that my employee will produce defective product. In such case, I know that if I have produced 100 units, out of them, few of the units will be defective. So we have to check them, we have to audit them, we have to test them. Okay, I have already teach you that the testing, checking is a non-value added activities. Okay, so you should write the first time, means you should produce a good product right the first time. Don't produce defective product. And if you want to reduce, somehow you want to reduce this cost, you have incurred this defect in the organization. Now there is need to audit, check, or testing these defect. So this will give you, this will from this the appraisal cost will come. Okay, audit, testing, checking, all this will result in appraisal cost. Okay, now after checking, after testing all the units, I found that out of 100, for example, 19 units are defective, remaining units are good. I found that 19 units out of 100, 19 units are defective. Now, I will not send these defective unit to my customer. What will I do? I will try to correct these defective units in the organization. So there is need of rework on these defects. Rework. There is need of rework. There is need of rework, and you know that rework is again a non-value added activity, and instead we have studied that rework and defect will come under 7 deadly waste, non-value added activity, and we should try to avoid them. Okay, so rework, we have to rework all these defective units, and for rework we have to incur cost, and this cost will come under internal failure cost. I hope you understand the meaning of internal failure cost. Okay. Now, if, for example, somewhere my checking, testing, and auditing process is not good, means I have not incurred much appraisal cost. I have not incurred much appraisal cost. My audit testing is not so good. In such case, what happened? It might be possible, if I have not checked entire 100 unit properly, it might be possible that though I have discovered some defect, but out of 100, it might be possible that I have not discovered some of the defects. For example, 5 defects, I have not discovered this. Okay, because my testing was not so good, my checking, auditing was not so good, I have not incurred much cost. For example, I have not taken an expert in the organization for checking these units. Not an expert. I have not kept an expert in the organization. So in such case, what will happen? This defect will be hidden. You will, the person, those who are sitting here will not find this defect. Okay, and this defect will reach to the customer. Okay, now these defective units, if the checking was not good, defective unit will reach to the customer, and now the customer will come and complain you about the defect. And for these product, he may come for the return, sales return, or for rework, or for guarantee, warranty. Okay, and the all these things which the customer will claim, when the defective product will reach to the customer, and the customer will come to claim that, this will come under external failure cost. Now first tell me, it is clear or not? Please tell me it is clear or not. Tell me it is clear or not. Audio is not coming? No, I don't think so. Okay. So I hope the topic you have studied, we have studied, I hope you have understood everything. Okay. Is there any doubt right now? Till now, is there any defect? I hope there is no, is there any problem? Everything is clear? Okay. So I hope you understand the meaning of prevention cost. Ma'am, can you give us some example of prevention cost? Yes, let us consider some example of prevention cost. Prevention occur before you have designed. Prevention cost will come before you have actually started the operation of the organization, actually production of the goods. The cost will incur in the organization before you have done actual production. Okay, keeping the system, process, employee training to employee, everything so good. You will do all these costs, you will incur all these costs before starting the production. Okay, so before designing, before implementation, and before maintenance of the product, you will start this. There is no example. Okay, so I hope you understand here that if you keep your prevention cost high, if you keep your prevention cost high, then ultimately your appraisal costs will get reduced and your internal and external failure costs will get reduced, because you have kept so good everything in the organization that right the first time product quality is right the first time, and you are not producing defective product, and so there is no need to check them much, and so such defective product will not reach to the customer, and there is no need to do rework on that. Okay, so if the prevention cost is high, you can see here, if the prevention cost will be high, in such case appraisal cost and internal and external failure cost will get reduced itself. Okay, one more example. You can see here that they have increased the prevention cost a little bit. Okay, if you will increase the prevention cost, this will help you to reduce the appraisal and internal and external failure cost. I hope you understand this. Is there any doubt? If you will increase the prevention cost, appraisal, and there is no need to incur much appraisal and internal or external failure cost. Okay, and I hope you have understood the difference between the prevention cost, appraisal cost, internal failure cost, and external failure cost. Is there any doubt? Yes, there is a question from Shalini Malhotra. She is asking me that, ma'am, compensation sought by customer for defective product will also cover under external failure cost. Yes, yes, the compensation claim by customer, or the warranty claim by the customer, or guarantee claim by customer, everything will come under external failure cost. Okay, if you see, if your product has reached to the customer and now you have to incur the cost related to that product, all the costs will come under external failure cost. Okay, that will come under external failure cost. So I hope everything is clear. Appraisal means checking. You can audit, or you can rate the supplier. You can do field testing. These are all examples. Okay, you can read them. Okay, but remember that first is the prevention cost. If you will incur high prevention cost, next step is to do appraisal cost. Then next step is to do internal failure cost, and then next step is to do external failure cost. Okay. Now let us understand this graph. Let us understand this graph. In this graph, you can see that there are two lines. There are two lines. This line, see this line. is related to quality control cost. Means this is related to prevention cost and appraisal cost. This is related to prevention cost and appraisal cost. See, next line, let me show the next line, then I'll explain you. This line is related to wait. Okay. I'm repeating this topic again. Please listen it. I'm repeating this topic again. See, this line is related to cost of implementing quality. Cost of implementing quality means this line is related to prevention cost. This is related to prevention or appraisal. Okay, this is related to prevention or appraisal, or prevention and appraisal. It is related to that, this cost. And we know that if the prevention cost is high, then in such case, the quality will be high. Defects will be zero. I will say that at this place, defect will be nil or zero. At this place, when the prevention cost is high, the appraisal cost is high, in such case, the defects will be nil or zero. Okay. But, and also, if you have highest prevention cost and appraisal cost, in such case, the internal and external failure cost will be low. Okay, if you have very good system, process, everything in your organization, then obviously you are incurring high prevention cost. In such case, there are chances of internal failure cost and external failure cost will be less. Okay, so this is the line for internal and external failure cost. So in case, if the prevention is less, if you are not incurring much cost on prevention and appraisal, in such case, the quality of your product will be zero. Okay, your process is not so good, employees are not working properly, system is not good, nothing is good in your organization. In such case, workers are not trained, they are not skilled. Okay, in such case, obviously they will produce defective units. So they are saying that in case if you are incurring very less or nil prevention or appraisal, nil prevention and appraisal cost in your organization, in such case, what will happen? In such case, the chances of production of there are chances of 100% production of defective units. The quality will be zero at this place. Okay, and in this place you have to incur high internal failure cost and external failure cost. Why? Because your process is not good and you are producing a defective product, and you are not checking them properly because you are not incurring appraisal cost. So in such case, what happen? Either you will find the defective units and you will correct them, means you will incur the internal failure cost, or the defective product will reach to the customer and customer will come to complain. Okay, then you have to incur the external failure cost. So we are saying that in case if you have zero prevention or appraisal cost, in such case the internal and external failure cost will be highest and the defects will be 100%, the quality will be zero. So neither the situation is very good nor the situation is good. The situation is not good because you are producing 100% effective units. So obviously the situation is not good. And the situation is not good. Why? Because you have to incur very high prevention and appraisal cost. Okay, you have to incur high prevention and appraisal costs. So you will find a place where both are equal. Okay, and the total cost, prevention, appraisal, internal and external failure cost, minimum. We will try to find the point where these costs are minimum, and we will do a numerical related to this topic. I hope this topic is clear. Is this topic is clear? So this is our situation. We are incurring prevention cost, appraisal cost, internal failure cost, and external failure cost. And we are trying to find the place where these costs are minimum. All these costs, internal, total cost. Like if we will talk about total cost of quality, total cost of quality. So in such case, the prevention cost will come here, appraisal cost will come here, internal failure cost will come here, and external failure costs will come here. So all the costs will come here, and we will try to find out the place where these costs, total cost is minimum. Okay, we will understand this with the help of a question or a numerical. Okay, I hope this topic is clear. Okay, now let us take a question. Let us take a question. I hope there is no doubt in your mind. This is a question we have. I want all of you to please read this question. I'm giving you 4-5 minutes to read this question. Please go through this question, okay? Okay, there is a query from Yusuf from Dubai. This is a query from Yusuf from Dubai. He is asking me, ma'am, on practical point of view, how is it possible to produce 100% quality product? Means there are some chances to produce some defective products. So yes, I have given you an example of Motorola company, and we will discuss this case study more in detail. Motorola company, they have achieved Six Sigma, and we will study this Six Sigma. And what I have said that Six Sigma means producing almost nil defective product. I'm not saying that nil defective, they are producing nil defective product. I'm saying that they are producing almost nil product. You will study that they are producing 99.9999% good product and 0.000011 something defective product. Means out of million, very less defective product they are producing. So they have achieved Six Sigma. Not exactly 100% good product. Okay, it's near to that. So I'm saying that almost nil defective product. I'm not saying that they are producing nil defective product. Okay, I want all of you to read this question. Read this question. Done? You have done the reading? Tell me. Screen is not clear? Now it is clear? This is a question from your book. Okay, let me discuss this question with all of you. JK Limited is a company which produce and sell a single product. This company is producing and selling one product, okay, single product. Presently, the company is having quality control system in a small way at an external failure and internal failure cost. So the company has quality control system in their organization, and with that some quality small way, they have some small way quality control in the organization, and because of that the company is incurring external failure cost and internal failure cost. I hope you understand by external failure cost. External failure cost means the product has reached to the customer and product is not as per the expectation of the customer, and therefore either the customer is claiming the warranty or guarantee, or the customer is returning the product, okay, or somehow he is claiming some compensation or something related to product, because of which the company is incurring external failure cost of 4,40,000. Now the company is incurring internal failure cost of 8,50,000. It means that the organization, this company will have some kind of appraisal, means internal process, because of which, with the help of which the organization is finding the defect in the organization. See, there is difference between internal and external failure cost. Internal failure cost means you have detected the defect before the product has reached to the customer. Okay, you have detected the defect inside the organization. Okay, let me tell you this. Internal failure cost means that this product has not yet reached to customer. The product has not yet reached to the customer. You have detected the defect before the product has reached to the customer, and now since you have detected the defect inside the organization, you are incurring the cost on improving that product, okay, and that will come under internal failure cost. So they are incurring 8,50,000 as internal failure cost, okay. As the company is not able to supply good quality product up to the expectation of the customers and wants to manage competition to retain market share, considers an alternative quality control system. So what happened? The company is not providing good quality of product as per the expectation of the customer. However, the company wants to maintain the competition with their competitor, and the company wants to retain their market share. Okay, the company wants to compete with their competitor and want to maintain their market share. And you know that if you want to maintain your market share and if you want to compete with your competitor, it's very important to maintain the quality of the product. And since the company is incurring so much internal and external failure cost, obviously they are not providing quality product, and the customer is not satisfied with the product they are supplying. Okay, and remember, if you are not providing the customer quality product, it might hamper, it might hamper the loyalty of the customer. Okay, the customer will not be loyal to your product if the quality is not good. Second, this will gradually deteriorate your reputation, your brand name. Gradually it will impact your brand name, your goodwill. Okay, and it might affect your long term survival, long term sales. So maintaining the quality is very important. Keeping the customer is very happy. You have to keep them happy by providing them everything which they want. Okay. Now, the company wants to implement a system annually which will lead to prevention cost and appraisal cost. Now they are improving their system. Okay, the organization is trying to improve their system, for which the organization has to incur new system. In new system, the organization have to incur prevention cost of 5,60,000 and appraisal cost of 70,000. The organization will have the organization are expected to implement a new system in the organization, for which they have to incur the prevention cost of 5,60,000 and appraisal cost of 70,000. Okay. And we have already stated that if the organization will incur high prevention and appraisal cost, ultimately the internal and external failure cost will reduce. Okay, so because of which you can see that the external failure cost is reduced by 1 lakh by 1 lakh. So let us see what is the external failure cost. Previously, the external failure cost was 4,40,000. Now it is reduced by 1 lakh. So it means now the external failure cost is 3,40,000. I hope you understand. Because we have put high prevention and appraisal costs, because of which the internal and external failure cost will obviously reduce. Okay, so here the external failure cost is reduced by 1 lakh. So now the new external failure cost will be 3,40,000. And the internal failure cost. The new internal failure cost will be, what will be the new internal failure cost? See, they have said that the internal failure cost will reduce by 4,10,000. The internal failure cost will reduce by 4,10,000. So previously this was 8,50,000. Now this has reduced by 4,10,000, means 850 minus 4,10,000. Tell me the new external failure, tell me the new internal failure cost. Can you tell me? Tell me the new value of internal failure cost. You will tell me. Please calculate and tell me this value. Tell me this value. Please tell me this value. What is this value? $4,40,000. Is it 4,40,000? I hope you all are doing this question. So it is mentioned in the question that previously what happened, the organization was incurring internal failure cost of 8,50,000 and external failure cost of 4,40,000. Now what happened? Since the organization is incurring prevention cost of 5,60,000 and appraisal cost of 70,000, because you have increased the prevention and appraisal cost, because of which the internal and external failure cost has reduced to this. Okay, this is what we have evaluated, the information which we have, okay, in the question. Now let us see and check the requirement of the question. Let us see the requirement of the question. Examine the new quality control proposal. You have to examine this new quality control proposal. Okay, and recommend whether the organization should accept this proposal or otherwise of the proposal, whether accept or not. Okay, and for this you have to consider the financial and non-financial perspective. So we have discussed this in first session, that if you want to take your decision for your business organization, you have to consider not just the financial factors but non-financial factors also. Okay, now we have to evaluate this proposal. Okay, now first tell me, I want all of you to please give me the answer. First tell me, what are the total costs they are incurring here? Total cost means the internal failure cost, the external failure cost in old system. Let me see your query. I think the query is not visible here. So let me see your query. Give me the calculation. Give me the calculation. What is the total value here? This is 1290. Okay. And what is the total cost in new system? The total cost in the new system is 1410. You are incurring here additional cost of, I think your query is not reaching to me. There is some problem. Your query is not reaching to me. Okay. Gayatri. I got answer from Gayatri. So you can see here that in old system, I think the screen was not visible. You can see here the total cost in old system, external failure cost and internal failure cost. This value is 1290. Okay, and if you will consider in new system the prevention cost, appraisal cost, internal failure cost and external failure cost, if you will consider all of them, you will get the value of 1410, this value. And you can see here the difference is, what is the difference? Can you tell me the difference? 1,20,000. Okay, I got answer from Ambika Mohammed Gayatri. Very good, beta. Very good. Okay, you can see here that the difference is 120. Now tell me whether the organization should follow the old system and the new system. Tell me. I want all of you to give me the answer. Okay. Tell me whether the organization should follow the old system, whether the old system was good or the new system is good. Because you can see here that in old system, you were incurring less cost, less internal failure cost and external failure cost. Total cost was less, cost of quality cost was less in old system. However, in new system, you can see that the organization is incurring the prevention and appraisal cost as well as internal and external failure cost. Means all these quality cost, which is more, comparatively more. Now tell me which proposal is good, the old or a new? Tell me quickly. Tell me the old or new, right? Old or new, whatever you like. And if you want to give me the reason, give me the reason also. Why are you saying that old proposal is good or the new proposal is good? Give me the answer. I think there is some delay in receiving your answer. Give me the answer. Which proposal is good, old or new, and why? Tell me. Which proposal is good, old or new, and why? Give me the reason and tell me which proposal is good. I want all of you to engage with me and give me the answer. Okay. Ambika is saying that, ma'am, new system is good. Can you give me the reason why new system is good? Why not old system? Okay, you people are saying that, ma'am, new system is better than old system. Can you give me the reason why the new system is good? Why the new system is better than old system? You can see here that you are incurring more cost in new system. So I think if you follow the traditional cost management, if you are a student of traditional cost management, you will say that, ma'am, new system is not good because the organization is incurring more cost. Okay, so I will say that if we will consider only the financial factors, financial perspective, if we will consider the financial perspective, we will say that old proposal is good, is better than new proposal. We will say that the new proposal is not good. Not good. Why? Because financially we are incurring high cost here. Okay, financially we are incurring high cost in new system, so new system is not good as compared to old system. But if we consider the non-financial perspective, because we have already discussed this, what we have discussed, while we are taking our decision, in strategic cost management, we will not just consider the financial factors, financial perspective, we will also consider the non-financial perspective. We will consider both. This is what we have studied. Okay, and we have also studied this, that we will not consider the short term goals. Okay, we will consider the long term goals, and achieving the financial perspective is a short term goal. You want to gain profit, revenue, sale in short term. Okay, you want to earn this is a financial, achieving the financial perspective. Like here, achieving the financial perspective, this is good. If you will consider financial perspective, this is good, but this is a short term goal. In long term, this will not be good. This proposal will not be good. Why this proposal will not be good in long term? Because in long term situation, if see why the old system is not good as compared to new system, non-financially. Financially, old system is good. Why? Because the organization is saving 1,20,000 in old system. Non-financially, it is not good. Why? Because in old system, what happened? You are producing defective units, and in old system, these defective units are reaching to customer more. You can see that the external failure cost in case of you can see here that the external failure cost in case of old system is more than the new system. It means that in old system, customer is receiving more defective unit, and that is why you are incurring more external failure cost. Customer is receiving more defective units, and if the customer is receiving defective units, in such case, you will not just incur the external failure cost, but also this is financial term, financial perspective, you are incurring external failure cost, but also this will damage your image in front of your customer, your image in front of customer. So customer loyalty will reduce, and you know that if one customer is dissatisfied, he will take your 10 more customer. Okay, if one customer will get angry, dissatisfied, he will take your more customer. So satisfaction of customer is very important, keeping the customer happy is very important. So if the customer will receive more defective units, that will reduce the customer loyalty, customer satisfaction, and in such case your own brand image, your reputation, your goodwill will get damaged. So non-financially this proposal is not good, because it will in long term it will reduce your goodwill, brand image. Okay, so non-financially this proposal is not good. Okay, so you can see here in the solution we have discussed this. From non-financial perspective, view as stated above, the company should accept the new proposal. Okay, from non-financial perspective, the new proposal is good, because the customer is receiving in new proposal, the customer is receiving less defective units. I hope you got this answer. Is there any doubt? Kunal, I haven't received your query. I think there is some problem related to this query software. I think there is some problem. I didn't receive your query. You can send me your query again. I think there is some problem because I'm not receiving the message properly. Kunal, you can send me your query again. And Shalini is asking something. She is saying that, ma'am, new proposal. I think Shalini has not written her complete statement. Your statement is not complete, but I hope you understand whatever I have explained you. Okay, you can see here that financially the old system was good. Financially, the new system is not good, because you have to incur high cost, high total cost. Okay, but in case of new system, the external failure cost is less. Matlab, it means that defective units are reaching to your customer in less quantity. If defects will reach to customer in less quantity, then the customer satisfaction will increase, because the customer satisfaction will reduce if the customer will reduce defective units. Okay, so in second case, customer will receive defective unit less. So the customer satisfaction will increase, and it will help you in long term increasing the reputation, goodwill, and brand image of the company. Okay, so non-financially, the new system is good. I hope you understand this. Now, the next portion of the question, what is your advice to the company if the company want to achieve zero defects through a continuous quality improvement program? Now, can you tell me, this is so easy to explain. The organization want to achieve zero defects. How is it possible? We have already discussed the organization can achieve zero defects with the help of high prevention cost. If the prevention cost is high, in such case, the defective units will be less. Okay. Now, if the organization don't want to incur high prevention costs, like you can see here in this example, since the organization is incurring high prevention costs, the total cost has increased in the organization. Now you can see here that the organization want to improve their quality. The organization want to give good product to the customer and want to reduce their defect. But you have studied that for this, you have to incur high prevention cost. You have to incur high prevention cost. If the prevention cost will high, then these costs will be less. But somehow you have seen that the total cost is high. So what the organization can do? Now for this, we will study more topic in chapter 3. We will study this in chapter 3, that if you want to do high prevention means the system, the process, all employee everything in the organization so good, so perfect that the chances of production of defect is less. For this we will study a topic, Kaizen costing, continuous improvement. We will continuously improve ourselves. We will continuously try to find out the way to reduce the non-value added activities strategically. Means not to incur high cost on prevention, not to incur high cost on prevention, but still we will try to find out the way to reduce all the non-value added activities. Okay, so up now our focus is what? Now our focus is what? We want to do high prevention in the organization. Our focus is that we want to do high prevention in the organization, because we know that if the prevention is high, internal, external, and appraisal costs, all costs will be less. Okay. Now, for this, for incurring high prevention costs, we don't want to incur cost. Okay, high prevention, we want to do high prevention, but we don't want to incur the cost for this. We don't want to have high cost. Okay, for this we need to apply strategies, and these strategies will come under your chapter 3. How to increase high prevention means how to do everything perfect, system, process, employee, everything perfect. Also, not just improving everything, not just doing everything in perfect way, but also doing everything strategically, means reducing the cost. Okay, our focus is to improve everything and try to find out the way to reduce the cost. So our focus is now this. Okay, up to this portion we have studied about all these 4 kind of cost. Okay, now this is our thought process for chapter 3. Okay, this is what I have relate you with chapter 3, that in chapters 3 we will study about creating everything so perfect, so good, that the chances of producing will be nil. And for this we will study about the continuous improvement. We will continuously improve everything in the organization, and that will help you to reduce the cost strategically. Okay, so high prevention, less cost, this is our goal. Okay, now here they are saying that zero defect can be achieved by continuous improvement. But remember, we want to achieve zero defect, but we don't want to incur the high prevention cost, because we have studied this graph here. Where is the graph? Because in this chapter we have studied about this graph. Wait. Yes, in this chapter we have studied about this graph, that if you want to achieve 100% quality, means zero defect, 100% quality and zero defect, you have to incur high prevention cost. High prevention. And for high prevention, you have to incur high prevention cost. But now in chapter 3, our goal is to have high prevention at least cost. And for this, we will study about in that chapter about various different, very good business strategies, which will help us to increase the prevention with also reducing the cost. Okay, I hope you understand what I mean to say. So for this, they have said that do this increase the prevention by doing increase the prevention because you want to have zero defects, and you can do this with continuous improvement. And this is the topic which you will study in chapter 3. Okay. And in chapter 3, you will study about reducing the various waste, that is non-value added activities. Okay, we will study this in chapter 3. Now the next topic. Suggest a suitable quality control level at minimum cost. Okay. Now what they have said, you can see here that we don't want to stay here. This is not a good situation. The old system is not a good situation. We don't want to stay at this place. But also this new system is also not good. Why the system is not good? Because in this case we are incurring high cost and we don't want to incur this cost. So even the new system is not so good. So they're saying that what you can do one thing in this case. What can you do? Consider this graph. Consider this graph. You know that defect is 100% at this place and defect is 0% defect at this place. Okay. So 0% good quantity, and at this place you are getting 100% quality product. Okay, so I can say 0% quality product. At this place 0% quality product. Now see, neither we want to remain at this place nor we want to remain at this place, because we know that if we want to have 0% effect, we have to incur high prevention cost. And right now we have not studied anything about chapter 3. So we don't have knowledge about the chapter 3 strategies. So we don't want to stay here. Okay, because we don't want to have, we don't want to incur high prevention cost. So in such case, they have said you that try to find out the place where the total cost is minimum, the prevention, appraisal, and internal and external failure cost. Means keep your prevention cost at such place, appraisal cost at such place that you will accept some level of defect. This will be the place where you will accept some level of defect. The defect is not 100%, and it is not 100% quality product also. So you will accept some level where you have to accept some level of defect, and at this place you will incur some prevention cost, appraisal cost, and obviously because you have not incurred a highest prevention cost, so since the prevention cost has reduced, so you will have to incur the internal and external failure cost also. So you will find such place where the total cost will be minimum, and obviously at that place there will be some level of defect. Okay, that level will not be this and this. Okay, so there will be some level of defect at that place. So this is what they have talked about at this place. Okay, we will find such place where the total cost is minimum, but yes, you have to accept the defect also. Okay, some level of defect will be there. Okay, do you have any query? Is there any query? I think you can see that the questions are very interesting. Questions are interesting and you have to apply your brain. Okay. See, since we have not studied anything about chapter 3, so you can't write anything about chapter 3 here. Okay. Though for high prevention, you can apply very good strategies we have, like you have written about the continuous improvement. You can write about many other strategies which we have in chapter 3, but we have not studied so far. So we can't write about that here. Okay. Okay, now let us do next topic, and then we will do one more question, this question. Okay, we will do this question also. This is a question of 20 marks and we will do this question also. I hope this question is clear to all of you. Now the next topic, total quality management. We will study only two topics today. First we have studied about cost of quality, and now we will study about total quality management. Okay, we will study about it. Total quality management. See the sequence of development of total quality management. Let me show this. So what happened, I will say not one person is responsible for the introduction of total quality management, not one person. Okay, there are many people who gradually develop this method of total quality management, the philosophy of total quality management. Okay, so I hope in your book W. Edward Deming, the name of W. Edward Deming is mentioned. He gave the philosophy related to total quality management, and he gave PDCA cycle. Okay, then quality revolution come after Second World War in Japan, and Japan, they consider the base of PDCA cycle W. Edward Deming philosophy, and they frame quality Toyota production system in their organization Tahishi Ahono. Okay, and then he do some development in total quality management. Then this is the cost of quality method. Okay, this is the cost of quality which we have studied right now. Crossby has given the zero defect. 1970 this concept came. Okay, then in 1980 total, then Masaki Imai was again in Toyota company, Kaizen costing. He gave Kaizen costing. Okay, so you can see here that Joseph M. Juran, W. Edward Deming, Crossby, who gave this cost of quality method, okay, and Masaki Imai and Tahishi Ahono of Toyota company, various people. Total quality management doesn't come from one person. Many people have gradually developed this concept, okay. Many people has gradually developed this concept. Now let us understand what is this total quality management is all about. Let us understand this. This concept revolve around the philosophy of continuous improvement. Okay, see, this philosophy is focused on improving the quality. We have studied that the quality is so much important in any organization. We have studied about it. Okay, quality is important. Okay, and we have studied one more point, that it doesn't mean that if you want to increase the quality, the cost will increase. But yes, we have an example of cost of quality, where we have studied that if you have high prevention cost, then you can manage to maintain high quality. This is what we have studied. High prevention cost means you can maintain high quality. But later on, we will study that for maintaining a high quality, for maintaining high prevention, there are many business strategy. Means you will have to consider high prevention at least cost, and for this we have to do continuous improvement in the organization, continuously improve the organization, continuously try to find out all the value added and non value added activity in the organization, and try to remove all these activities, all the non value added activities, focus on all the value added activities. Okay, and for improving, see, I'm saying that high prevention is important in order to improve the quality. Prevention, how the prevention will come? If the system, process, product, employee, everything is good, means involvement of everyone is important in the organization. Okay, so total means everyone involvement is required. Quality, for maintaining quality, you have to continuously improve everything in the organization in order to give good services to the customer or good product to the customer. And even the management, involvement of the management is required here. Okay, so you can't execute everything on the head of employee. Okay, the management should involve in every decision of the organization. Okay, so quality is everyone's. In total quality management, we have to study this, that the quality is everyone's job. Okay, everyone's job means all employee, everyone will be covered here. Okay, and he says that Quality will come from high prevention, not inspection. This is what I'm repeating again and again and again, that for maintaining high quality, you have to maintain high prevention. And for high prevention, we have to incur high cost. And now we are trying to find out the way to increase the prevention and reduce the cost. Okay. Quality means meeting the needs of the customer. Quality means that you have to meet because you know that customer is king, you have to keep the king happy. And this market is a buyer market, customer market. Buyers, seller are many, seller are concentrated, buyers are less. So there is more competition amongst the seller. Everyone try to keep the customer happy. And so therefore everyone try to provide best services, best customer satisfaction. Okay, so you have to focus yourself also on the need of the customer. And for this, everyone involvement in the organization is required, means teamwork is required in the organization. Also, continuous improvement is required in the organization. We have to continuously improve everything in the organization. We have to continuously find out the way to reduce the cost strategically. Try to find out all the value added activities and focus on value added activity. Try to find out all the non value added activity and try to remove all the non value added activity from the organization. So this is how we have to work. Okay, involve strategic planning, do strategic planning. Okay, achieve the result and clear measure of success. Okay, and here we will focus on doing the thing right the first time, eliminating the defects and waste from the organization. So in short, if you want me to concise it in short, I will say high prevention. We want to have high prevention, because if the prevention is high, the defect will be less, the quality will be more. But for high prevention, we have to incur high cost. This is what we have studied in cost of quality. High prevention means high cost. But we will study in strategic cost management various strategies that will help us to create high prevention at least cost. Okay, so this is our focus to understand the concept, remaining concept in chapter 3. Okay, I will use all these things in chapter 3 also. Total quality management required employee involvement, again the same point. Continuous improvement, same point. Customer focus, customer is king, keep the king happy always. Okay, improve the quality of your product. Okay, so this is what total quality management is all about. Now the next topic. Is there any doubt? Okay, there is a doubt from Aman from Ahmedabad, Gayatri from Hyderabad. Okay, I'll take your doubt after this. Okay, let us discuss this topic and then I'll take your doubt. You can write more doubts. If you people have more doubt, you can ask me. Okay, now let us understand 6 C's of total quality management. Okay. Now remember, always remember the point of total quality. Always remember, you can write it here, prevention. We want to have high prevention, because high prevention will give us high quality. But we don't want to incur cost. We will try to find out the way to reduce the cost. Okay. And for this, high prevention, less cost, for this we need strategy. Okay, for this we need strategy. Okay, this is not possible easily. For this we need strategy. Okay, now let us understand the 6 C's of total quality management, the 6 C's of total quality management. So the first point is commitment, second point is culture, third point is continuous improvement, fourth point is cooperation, fifth point is customer focus, sixth point is control. Now let us understand them one by one in detail. Okay, let us understand them one by one in detail. Okay, you need a break of 10 minutes. I'll give you. First of all, let us cover this topic. 6C. Then we will take a break of 10 minutes. Okay. It's a small concept. Let us first cover this concept. Then we will take a break. Commitment. So we have studied that total quality management. There was a very good, a lot of contribution of W. Edward Deming. Okay. W. Edward Deming. Mr. W. Edward Deming. Okay. So Deming has contributed a lot in total quality management. So we will consider the points of W. Edward Deming. Okay. People call them father of quality. Now, first point is commitment. So commitment means everyone's responsibility, either the top management or the people, those who are working in operational level, everyone's responsibility. So quality is everyone's responsibility. You cannot hold responsible to the top management for the quality or the operational level. Everyone is responsible for making the quality product. Okay, this is a kind of strategy, you can say. Quality improvement should be part of everyone's job. Whatever you are doing in your organization, for your organization, whatever you are doing, try to do everything good, perfect. Okay, and quality should be there in your work. Okay, so quality improvement should be part of everyone's job. Everyone, those who are working in the organization should do their work in the best manner. Okay, quality is everyone's responsibility. So you cannot blame one person for the defective products, that he has committed this mistake and because of which the defects arises in the organization. Don't blame one person. Okay, everyone is responsible for the defects. So quality is everyone's responsibility. Okay, a clear commitment. So everyone's commitment is required, obviously. Okay, so a clear commitment from top management must be provided. Sometimes this happen, na, that top management, they generally blame for all defects and every wrong work arises in the organization to the lower level employees. Okay, they blame some employee that because of this fault arises in the organization, because of this defect arises. Okay, so they're saying that the commitment of top management is also very important. Proper support and training is required, and the organization should try to provide proper training and commitment, proper training to all the people, those who are working in the organization. Now for this I want to tell you one point. Okay, you can see this is the culture of multinational company. What happened in multinational company, I have worked in ICAI multinational company, ICAI MNC, and what I have noticed there, very good, their culture was very good. And what happened, people work together in one table. Okay, there is no cabin system. Like if you will go in India, if you will go in Indian government organization, any good Indian government organization, you will find that there is separate cabin for the director, there is separate cabin for assistant director, there is separate cabin for various higher authority people. Right, this is the culture we have. Okay, but in multinational company, what happened, you can see that the director is sitting in the same table, the manager is sitting in the same table, the lower level management is sitting in the same table. So people, those who work for the organization, they sit in the same table. There is no cabin system in the organization, they work together. Okay, and this helped them to develop teamwork, because they are working together, they share their experience with each other, they learn from each other. So this is how the top management is sitting with the whole employee, and this top management, he shared his own experience with everyone. So this will help in innovation in the organization, improving the organization. This will help a lot. Okay, to train the people, those who are working in the organization, because obviously the senior management, the management will have excellent knowledge. So such people, such management will help other people to learn. Okay, so the commitment of everyone is important, and teamwork is important in the organization. Okay, now the next topic is related to culture. Now this is related to proper training for everyone those who are working in the organization should be properly trained, should know the culture of the organization. And if there is any change in the organization, for example, there is change which is related to technology, like for example, the organization want to implement ERP system in the organization, okay, or there is some change related to some plan or policy of the organization, so you should first train your employee, okay, so that they can easily accept the changes, okay. Generally what happen in management, the top management, they involve with creativity, they associate the creativity with creative accounting. Now ma'am, what do you mean by saying creative accounting? Creating accounting means this: your actual position is something else and you are showing something else. So this is creative accounting. You should not do this like you are in debt and you are showing that you have credit balance, okay. Don't do that, okay. This means creative accounting, okay. So try to avoid this. You should not do this in your organization. You should avoid the negative perceptions of the people, those who are working in the organization, okay. So this is how you should build a culture in the organization. Leadership commitment, teamwork is important, continuous improvement is important, employee empowerment is important, customer focus is important. All these points are important for creating the culture in the organization. Culture of ethics. See, this truth and ethic is very important. The person who follows everything correctly, ethic, I will say in business, ethic and truth is very important. Okay. Even in personal life, it is important. Ethics and truth is very important. Okay. And this will, if you will follow this, try to create this in your culture of the organization. Okay. Now, next point is continuous improvement. It should be recognized that total quality management, now we can see here that TQM is not a program. Program will end after 1 month, 2 months. Okay. This is not a program. It's a process and it's a continuous process. You have to keep it continuously in the organization every day, everywhere in the organization. So this is a continuous process of the organization. Maintaining the quality, the total quality management is a continuous process. Okay, so this is a long-term, never-ending process of the company. Okay, because they are saying that no process, no system is perfect. We are saying, we can say now that no one is perfect in this world. In this world, no one is perfect, but you should accept your that you have some flaws. Okay, you should accept that, and you should try to improve that every day, continuously. You should try to improve that. Okay, so accept your flaws and try to improve that. So they are saying that no system, no process, no organization is perfect. And if the organization is perfect, it means that they are producing zero defect. But since the organization is not perfect, it means that they can't produce zero defect. So what the organization should do in order to achieve the perfectness, the organization should continuously improve themselves. Try to find out your flaws, try to find out where your weakness and improve that, work on that and improve that. Okay, so this is what the organization should do. The organization should try to find out their flaws in the organization, the non-valuated activity you have in the organization, all the flaws. Okay, if somewhere there is need of training to the employee, train them. There is somewhere removal of any non-valuated activity, remove them. Okay, so try to create, do continuous improvement and try to achieve perfectness. If you will achieve the perfectness, this will help you to remove all the defects. So they are saying that there is always room for improvement. No one is perfect, and it's not possible to call yourself that yes, I'm a perfect organization, I'm a perfect man. No one is perfect, and there is always room for improvement, and you should do that continuously. Okay, next is cooperation. Total involvement of everyone in the organization is required. All the employee, all the people in the organization is required. Total involvement. Okay, So job experience of all employees should be fully used in your organization. You know that this person is very experienced, this person is very knowledgeable. Use their knowledge, use their experience. Okay, so everyone's cooperation is required, and we have studied already that people in multinational, they work as a team. People sit together, they share their experience with each other, they learn from each other. No one is says that I'm director, I am low level employee. All are equal in the organization, and they share with each other their knowledge, experience, everything, and they work as a team. Okay, so this is how the organization should work. Okay, now the next point is customer focus. Customer, who are the customer? If I will ask you that who are the customer, you will say, ma'am, the person to whom we sell our final product is a customer. For example, if I'm making a cake, the person who finally received the cake from me is my customer. Okay, this is what you will say. Okay, but in strategic cost management, there are two type of customer: internal customer and external customer. There are two type of customer: internal customer and external customer. All the people, those who are working inside the organization, and they work for each other, like department 1 is working for department 2, is working for department 3, or the people from process 1, they are working for process 2, and they are working for process 3, and so on. They are working for each other. So these people, those who are working for each other, they are also customer, but we call them as internal customer. They are internal customer. And the person, those who receive finally our product or services, is external customer. So they are saying that focus on customer, need of the customer. Matlab, you should not only consider the final product or services which is required by the final external customer, but also the people, those who are inside the organization. For example, I'm working for process 1 and my product will reach to process 2. So I should understand the need of the process 2, the person, those who are working in process 2, what are their need. Okay, so this is how we should focus on both internal customer and external customer. We should focus on both. Okay, so this will help you to produce zero defects. This will help you to reduce the defects. Okay, because you are not just understanding the need of the external customer, but all the people, those who are working inside the organization, you are trying to understand their need also. Okay, and if the goods is produce good inside the organization, obviously it will reach defect free to the outside customer. Okay, I hope you are understanding what I'm teaching, because I know I'm teaching a completely new subject. The subject is completely a new subject, but I hope you are getting me what I'm teaching you. And please keep asking me your queries also. I will take your query also. Okay, the queries which you have sent me, I will take all those queries also. Okay, now next is control. So whatever you have implemented, everything in your organization, you should control that also. Okay, so documentation and control procedure and awareness of the current best practices which you have put in your organization. You have put the best practices everywhere in the organization. Now the controlling, that is very important. So this will come under the 6C of total quality management. Now you can take a break of 10 minutes. Okay, and in between you can ask me query. We are taking a break of 10 minutes. Okay, we have more concept to understand. Okay, our concept is not complete. We have more concept to understand, and we will take one case study of 20 marks. Okay, I will tell you how to write case study in exam. Break. Okay, I'm live. Okay, I was thinking like अभी भी break चल रहा है. Okay. अच्छा अच्छा. Okay. Okay. So there is a query from Aman. He's asking me, ma'am, what is the difference between appraisal, internal and external failure cost? I will say that agar, if you will watch the video from the beginning, I hope this will be clear to you. But let me revise this again. Prevention, appraisal, internal and external failure cost. These are the four cost of quality. If you are incurring high prevention cost, means system process, okay, activities, all the activities, okay, activities, employees, everything so perfect, then the chances of defect will be almost nil. Okay, but for this you have to incur cost, high prevention cost. Okay, in case if you are not incurring high prevention cost, in such case there are chances that you are producing defective product. For example, you are producing 100 unit and you are not incurring high prevention cost. In such case, what will happen? There are chances that out of 100 might be some unit will be defective. For example, you know that from your past experience that out of 100 you have received 20 defective unit from past experience. So for finding these 20 unit, you have to check all the units. Okay, now for checking them, for auditing, you have to incur cost again checking them. Okay, auditing them, you have to incur the cost again, and this cost will come under appraisal cost. This will come under appraisal cost. The cost of checking and auditing will come under appraisal cost. So what is appraisal cost? Checking, you have already produced the goods, and since you have not incurred high prevention cost, there are chances that some of the unit will be defective, and in order to find out the good unit and defective unit, you have to check them, audit them, okay, testing them. So testing, checking, auditing, this all will come under appraisal cost. Okay, and for example, if you have found 20 defective units, 20 units, those which are defective, now for these defective unit you have to do rework. Okay, rework on these defective unit, you have to do rework. Okay, you have to correct them, and for rework, for correcting these defective unit, you have to incur costs, which will be internal failure cost. Okay, so internal failure cost means correcting the defective units, the cost you will incur on correcting the defective units. Okay, now what happened in case if you don't have good appraisal in your organization, means your checking is not so good, your auditing is not so good, you have not trained your employees so much that they are finding all the defective units. In such case, what happened? There are some chances that out of 100 units, it might be possible that not all defective units have been removed by the employee. Okay, they have removed 20 defective units, but it might be possible that they have not identified some of the defective units because they are not so good. Appraisal is not so good. You have not put good checking system in your organization because the employee is not so trained. In such case, it might be possible that they have not found some of the defective units, and that defective unit will reach to external customer, the customer. Okay, that defective unit will reach to the customer. Now the customer will come to return that product, sales return, or the customer will claim guarantee or warranty or compensation on such product. This will all come under external failure cost. So internal failure cost means the defect is identified within the organization, and external failure cost means the defect is identified by the customer. The customer has received the product and the defect will be found by the customer, and you have to incur cost on correcting that defect. Okay, I hope this is clear because this is the base of entire concept. Okay, what are the more queries? Let me see your queries. Yes, it means, this is the question from Gayatri. She is asking me, ma'am, that means appraisal cost is also incurred after the production. Yes. So only the prevention cost you will incur before production. And all these costs, appraisal cost, internal failure cost, external failure cost, all these costs you will incur after the production. Okay, so these are the costs which you will incur after the production. And there is a question from, the name is Kunal. He's saying that, ma'am, it means that total quality management and cost of quality is same. No, 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 no. See, cost of quality, in cost of quality, you have discussed these things, that what is prevention cost, what is appraisal cost, what is internal failure cost, and what is external failure cost. And you have discussed that if you have high prevention cost, then in such case, the appraisal and internal and external failure cost is less. Okay, this is what you have studied in cost of quality, this entire concept. But in case of total quality management, you are studying about only this thing, prevention. In this we are studying that, if this is what we are studying in total quality management, this topic. If we have high prevention in the organization, how to create high prevention? We want to create high prevention with less cost. Okay, in such case, what will happen? The cost will be less, and we are not producing defective units. And for this is not an easy task. And for this, we are following strategies. Okay. So in TQM, we are not talking about all these things. Okay, we are only talking about prevention. High prevention means less cost. Okay, in the organization. Now let us understand the contribution done by W. Edward Deming. See, the concept, let me first tell you about W. Edward Deming. Who was W. Edward Deming? W. Edward Deming was an American, okay? But what happened after Second World War? After Second World War, what happened? America, they send them, W. Edward Deming and Joseph M. Jurin, these two people. America, they send them to Japan to revive the people of the Japan, because after Second World War, you know that America fall atomic bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and Japan was completely destructed. Okay, and in order to revive them, in order to revive their economy, they send them to W. Edward Deming to Japan. And interesting point is that with the help of W. Edward Deming philosophy, the people in Japan, they adopted the philosophy of W. Edward Deming. And with the help of adopting such philosophy, in Japan, quality revolution begins. And from destruction, within few years, Japan was converted into world's third biggest economy. And this country becomes a threat for American. Okay, so you can see that the foundation of this quality revolution was W. Edward Deming and Joseph M. Jurin. W. Edward Deming, he gave so good philosophies that help them to develop. Okay, and we will study about this more in chapter 3. I will teach you. So W. Edward Deming, he was a statistic professor in New York University in 1940. And he is the father of quality control, but he gave his all quality principle in Japan. Okay, he was unknown in his own country. People don't know about him in America. After Second World War, with the help of the philosophies W. Edward Deming, given by W. Edward Deming, the philosophy of W. Edward Deming bring revolutionary changes, revolutionary quality revolution in Japan. So this is AQ. He said about W. Edward Deming that a saint, W. Edward Deming was a saint of Japanese quality control, and he was unknown in his own country. who was virtually unknown in his own country until his idea of quality control. He was unknown until his idea, his philosophy, his principle began quality impact in Japanese company. Okay, I hope you understand. Japan was completely destructed by the bomb of atomic bomb at Hiroshima and Nagasaki, completely destructed. But after adopting the philosophy of W. Edward Deming, quality revolution begins, and with the help of all the quality revolution, which begins in Japan, the Japan country becomes world's third largest economy. So this is how their philosophy become a base for the economy of Japan and the revolutions of Japan, the quality revolutions of Japan. Okay, I hope you understand. So they respect so much. Japanese respect so much W. Edward Deming that they have created this prize, Deming Prize, and they give this prize to the best quality company in their country, best quality company in their country. Okay. Now, very interesting point what W. Edward Deming has said. He noticed the American company and Japanese company, and he found that most of the problem in the organization are arises due to poor system. W. Edward Deming, he noticed that most of the problem in the organization, he noticed the American company, both how the American company, how the people work in America. And then he come to Japan, and then he worked the way how Japanese work. Okay, they notice their work, how they work and how they work. Okay, and what he found, W. Edward Deming found that most of the problem in the organization, 85% problem in the organization are arises due to poor system, poor process, poor activities. He noticed that most of the problem in the organization were arises due to poor system. The system was not good. The machine in which the production was taking place was not good. The way the machine were placed was not good. The process, the activities, the way they were doing their business was not good. So 85% problem was arises because of the poor system, process, activities. And he said that only 15% problem, he said that only 15% problem were arises because of the employees, because of the fault of employees. Okay, somewhere we know that somewhere employee don't work nicely. Okay, so he said that only 15% defective unit were produced because of the employees. Okay, and most of the problem in the organization were arising, the defects were arising because 85% were arising because of the poor system, process and activities. He compared the American companies and he compared the Japanese company. He compared how the people work in America, in the factory of America, in the organization of America, in the company of America, and he noticed that how the people in Japan they work, okay, in factory, in companies, okay. And while he was comparing, he noticed that only 15% problem were arising because of the employees. So he was saying that scolding your employee is not good. You should not scold your employee for the defects. If any defective units, if your organization are producing defective units, in such case, Instead of scolding the employee, you should first correct the entire process, system, and activity. Once you will correct the process, system, and activity of the organization, now there is no need to correct then employee. Employee will ultimately correct themselves. Okay, employee will ultimately correct themselves. So there is first need to focus on improving the entire system of the organization, entire process of the organization, entire activity of the organization. Instead of any defect, what happened, this is generally what happened even in case of our house. If we have kept some household worker or maid or something, okay, for any defect we scold them, you have done this wrong, you have done this wrong. But he's saying that you should not scold your employee, you should not scold them. He says that most of the problem arises because of your own system. You don't have proper system in the organization, the process is not good, the activities are not good. So you should not blame employees are not responsible for that. First, you yourself responsible. Okay, you are yourself responsible. Okay, then you uh, blame employee for all such things. Okay, this is what he said. Then, so these are some points I have taken from internet. Very interesting point. I think we should read it. Let us read this point. He said that 3% of the problem have figures, 97% problem do not figure. This is generally happen. You can't manage what you don't measure. Improve quality, you automatically improve productivity. Okay, this is what he said. First, you improve the quality, then the productivity will ultimately improve. Change the rule, you will get a new number. This is what he said. A bad system will beat a good person every time. So he is saying if the process is not good, system is not good, activities are not good, then even a good person is working for the organization, he can't do work nicely. Okay, he can't do work. Okay, so for this he said that a bad system will beat a good person every time. Okay, innovation comes from the producer, not from the customer. Okay, so if you want to do innovation, it will come from you, not from the customer. Don't expect the customer to help you for innovation. Okay, innovation will come from you. Does experience help? No, not if we are doing wrong things. So experience will not help you if you are doing wrong work. Okay, if you are doing wrong things, then your experience is of no use. This is what he said. And he said that most of the problem in the organization are arises because of your own poor system, process, activities, not because of the employee. Okay, so he gave these 14 philosophy, and we will study about it. These 14 philosophies, let us understand. Important, these are important points, very important. Please don't leave the session before understanding this concept. Okay, these are the 14-point methodology which is given by Edward Deming. 14 points. First point is to create consistency of purpose toward improvement. Okay, you should have a clear goal for the organization, and you should communicate that clear goal to the employee in the organization, to all the employee in the organization. Okay, create consistency of purpose. Create consistency of purpose toward improvement of product, services, so as to become competitive and stay in business. So in order to remain competitive in the business organization, you should continuously improve your product and services, okay, toward the goal of the organization, whatever you want to achieve for your organization. Okay, and for this he is saying it might be possible that sometime you have to sacrifice your short term goals for achieving your long term objective. Okay, this is what we have started. Okay, sometime you have to sacrifice your short term goals in order to achieve your long term goals. Okay, next point is to adopt the new philosophy. Now, what is this new philosophy? We want to avoid the defective material. We want to avoid the mistake in the organization. We want to avoid the delay happen in the organization. And for this, we have to reposition everything. Now, the system, the process, the activity, we have to reposition them. Okay, so because we have to correct everything, the entire system of the organization, the entire process, entire activity, because we don't accept the delays, we don't accept the mistakes, the defects in the organization. Okay, next is cease dependency on inspection. So I hope you understand this is appraisal cost. I hope you understand the meaning of this. Inspection means appraisal cost. So I have already teach you that in total quality management, we want to have high prevention. High prevention means if the prevention cost is high, you don't need to have incur appraisal cost, internal and external failure cost. Okay. If you have high prevention means the system, process, activity, employee, everything so good, so perfect that the chances of defect is zero. Okay, and for this we just don't focus, we are not just focusing on improving the prevention, but we are also trying to reduce the cost. Prevention is high, cost is less. This is what our focus is. Okay, so he is saying that try to cease the dependency on inspection. We don't want to incur the appraisal cost. We don't want to focus on inspection. Instead, focus on prevention. If the prevention is high, if you have high prevention, in such case, what will happen? Obviously, if the prevention is high, the appraisal, the need of appraisal, internal and external failure will be nil. Okay. So they are saying that quality, I can say here that the quality right the first time. Quality right the first time. Quality right the first time. And for this, you have to incur high prevention. If the prevention is high, you don't need to incur appraisal in internal and external failure cost. I hope this is clear. Okay. You cannot inspect the quality into the product. It is already there. So quality right the first time. Every time, whenever you are producing a product or services, it should be a quality product, a quality service. So they are trying to achieve zero defects. Zero defect, high prevention means zero defect. Okay. But it's easy to have high prevention, but we don't want to have high prevention costs. So our focus is to reduce the cost and high prevention. If variation is reduced, there is no need to inspect the manufactured item for defects. Variation where? Variation in input, the input you receive. For example, you are receiving from Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C. We have three different suppliers, and we are receiving our raw material input from three different suppliers. Then it is obviously possible that the input which we have received from different suppliers, that might be chances that there might some variation arises. Okay, so variation should be avoided. Okay, and move towards single supplier instead of buying. Why they are trying to move to a single supplier? Because if you will buy your raw material from 3 4 5 supplier, means more than one supplier, in such case raw material is coming from different supplier, and it might be possible that the variation will arise because of this. What do you mean by variation, ma'am? Let me show you the meaning of variation. You can see, I hope if you can see this image, I can't zoom it, but you can see this is the meaning of variation. Okay, a small increase in length of this will not fit at this place. So this is a variation. A small defect may result in large defect, or a small defect in input raw material which we have received from the supplier, because of which the variation will arise, and hence it might result in some high defect in the organization, in the final product. Okay, so If you are buying the raw material from multiple supplier, it means that the variation between the raw material may arise. ठीक है. Next is improve constantly and forever. Means continuous improvement is important. This is what we have studied, that we should continuously improve everywhere, every activity, every process, every employee, everyone in the organization continuously improve themselves. Okay, it's a never ending process. Okay, we will say that it's a process, never ending process, and everyone should involve in continuous improvement. Okay, so this is how continuous improvement will help you. And this is the meaning of variation. I got an image. You can see here in this image, what is the meaning of variation is clear in this image. Okay, if you will buy material from different supplier instead of one supplier, the variation will arise. You can see the image. Okay, and we should try to reduce this kind of variation. You can see here the size of this. Okay, we should try to reduce such kind of variation. These are small changes, small things. Sometimes we think that these small things will not matter a lot, but these small things sometimes will result in some big losses. Okay, so even small changes are very important in the organization. Even small things, small decisions are important in the organization. Next is institute training on the job. Try to provide training everyone, those who are working in the organization, all the employees, those who are doing their job. We should train them properly. Train them. If the workers are not properly trained, what happens? Same as if you receive the raw material from different supplier, then the variation will arise. Similarly, if your worker is not trained well, okay, then what happen? He will not do the work properly, and it might be possible that some kind of variation will arise because the labor is not trained. So receiving the raw material from one supplier is important in order to avoid the variation. Proper training of the employee is important in order to avoid the variations. And see, variation, noticing the variation and removal of variation is very important, because if in input there is any variation, obviously it will result in final product, it will result in defect, okay, loss, which will result in loss. So we should train everyone in the organization regarding this. Next point is leadership. Try to become a leader, not a boss. Don't be a boss. Okay, leader is a coach, not a judge. Okay, try to be a leader, not a boss. There is a difference between boss and leader. You can understand this with the help of this image. The difference between boss and leader. Boss always dictate the employee, go and do this, go and do this. Okay, this is how the boss do work. Okay, however, leader, what happened, leader work as a team. Okay, leader consider the thought of all the employees, and then accordingly they unanimously decide something. Okay, so it's kind of teamwork, and the leader helping developing teamwork instead of dictating something. Okay, instead of dictating something. Drive out fear, remove the fear in the employee. Okay, sometimes that the employee, he's scared so much from the employer that he don't express his own viewpoint about different topic. Okay, and in business organization or in any organization, viewpoint of everyone is important, involvement of everyone is important. So the leader should try to drive out the fear in the employees, drive out fear, so that everyone may work effectively for the company. Okay, drive out the fear. Okay, and this will help the entire organization. If you will remove the fear from the employee, this will help the entire organization. Whenever there is fear, you will get a wrong figure. This is what W. Edward Deming said. So removing the barrier, Fear is a barrier for improvement. Fear is a barrier for innovation, involvement, teamwork. Okay, so remove the fear inside the employee. Okay, help them to drive out the fear. Okay. Now, next is break down the barriers. This is what I'm talking about previously also, that in, if you will go in any government organization in India, even still today you can find the cabin system, that the director is sitting in his cabin, and the assistant director is sitting in his cabin. So this is how people sit and they work in the organization. But what happened, this has generally happened in multinational company, there is no cabin system. People sit together in a table, even the director, assistant director, small employee, everyone, they work together and they share their ideas, their experience with each other, and they continuously learn from each other. And this is how a teamwork work. Okay, so break down the barriers between the department. This is what Edward Deming said. And this is how people work in multinational company together, sitting together. Okay, eliminate the slogans. Now, why he said don't give any slogan to employee. This is generally what happened when we study, we put some slogan around us, okay, in order to motivate ourselves to study more. Okay, this is what I have done during when I was a student. I put slogan somewhere around my table or my wall to motivate myself that yes, I have to study. I want to achieve my goal. This is my goal. But Edward Deming is saying that don't put slogan for your employees. Why he's saying that? Because he said that now that most of the problem in the organization arises from your own system, your own process, your own activities. So for any defect, don't blame your employee, and there is no need to motivate the employee or give them slogan to work more. Okay, first improve your own system, process, everything in your organization. Once you will improve your own system, process, everything, the work of the employee will ultimately improve itself. Okay, so this is why he's saying you don't need to put the slogan for the employee to work more. Okay, he said that most of the problem in the organization arises because of your own system or own process, own activity. So don't blame employee for that, and don't put slogan for them. Okay, improve your own system first. These are all something which I will explain you later on. Okay, that you should produce your product in you sell. I will teach you in chapter 3. And production should take place like this, not like this, but like this. The production should take place like this is the system which is required. Also you can see that if you are working like this, then your production will reduce, your productivity will reduce. Instead, if you will work like this, the productivity will increase. I will teach you all these things in chapter 3. Okay, so first, how to improve your own system, process, and activity, I will teach you in chapter 3. And don't blame your own employee for this, all these things. Next is PDC. Sorry. Next is eliminate management by objective. This means that don't give target to your employee. Don't say, go and prepare 150 file today in 5 hours. Okay, don't be like that. Okay, don't be like a boss like that, giving target to employee, produce 150 car in 5 days. Don't give them target. Okay, don't do that. This is not a good way to work. Okay, I know you people will not agree with this, but this is how things will improve. Okay, this will help in improving the uh, things in organization. Next is remove barrier to pride workmanship. See, sometimes what happened, that in the organization you recognize one employee more, you give them appraisal and everything, one employee, and you completely ignore other employee. So don't do like this in the organization. Don't do like this. Okay, don't do like this. So he said abolish the merit rating system, means rating different employee. You should avoid this. Appraisal of performance, avoid this. This is not good. Okay, he was not in favor of this. Then institute education and self improvement of everyone, those who are working in the organization. And You want business transformation, you want to transform, because you know that most of the problem in the organization arises because of the employee. Okay, because of the employee, the most of the problem in the organization arises because of the employee. Sorry, most of the problem in the organization arises because of the wrong system, wrong process, and wrong activity. So you need to improve your all the business. Okay, but for that, this is everyone's responsibility. Not one person can do this. Okay, everyone should involve in this. So transformation, you need a transformation in the entire system, process, and activity. But for this, you need everyone's involvement. So it's everyone's job. Okay, next is PDCA cycle: plan, do, check, act. This is what plan, do, check, act. This is what given by W. Edward Deming. Deming wheel. This is a Deming wheel. He said that organizations should continuously improve themselves in order to achieve the goal of the organization. And it's never-ending process. It's a process, and it's a never-ending process. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now, one more question, then we will finish this session. And in between, I'm taking your queries. You can ask me queries you have. Okay, and I want all of you to read this question. And in between, I'm taking your queries. This is the question we have. You can see this question is given in your book also. I think this is in chapter 13. You can find this question and tell me the page number if you know that. You can ask me more question. I think there are questions. Okay, you people can ask me more questions. Read this question. We will do this question. Tell me the page number if you know that. This is a 20 marks question, a very good question. I think this question is in your chapter 2. Okay, very good question. Okay, let me read this question because we have less time. Cool Air Private Limited manufacture electronic components for cars. Okay. Car manufacturers are the primary customer for these products. Car manufacturer, those who manufacture the car, are the primary customer for Cool Air Private Limited. The raw material component are bought, assembled, and electronic car component are sold to the customer. Okay, so the company sell electronic car. Okay, raw material component, they buy raw material component from Cool Air Private Limited, and then they sold electronic car component. Okay, now the share of the company is of rupees 1 lakh. The market demand of these components, the entire market demand is 5 lakh unit, out of which Cool Air has market share of 1 lakh. Okay, it means that the company has 20% market share. The company has 20% market share. Okay. Below are some of the details relating to the product. There are some details which is related to the product: selling price, raw material cost, assembly and machine cost, delivery cost, contribution. Everything is given. Okay, so you can see here that this is the selling price per unit, 25. This is the selling price. Variable cost. What is the variable cost? All these are variable cost. Okay. This is, I think, 1500. Then the contribution is 1000. Okay. Now, let us read forward. Customers due to defects in the product. So since the company is selling defective product, 5,000 unit each year the customer returns. Okay, so sales return is 5,000 units. Okay, customer due to defects, they return 5,000 units. They are replaced free of charge. Now the company replace them free of charge. Okay, so it means that the company is not just selling 1 lakh unit, but also 5,000 unit. Why? Because out of these 1 lakh, some units are defective, 5,000. So the company additional sale 5,000 unit, more 5,000 unit. The replaced component, and the component which are replaced cannot be repaired and do not have any scrap value. Means those 5,000 units which are returned by the customer are completely waste, are of no use, complete waste. Okay. If these defective components had not been supplied, if the company had not supplied these 5,000 defective units, the customer perception due about the quality of the product will improve, and this will increase the sale of the company by 10%. So the sale of the company will be 1,50,000. Previously, the sale of the company was 1 lakh. Now, if the organization is not supplying those 5,000 defective units, then what happened? The customer is not receiving defective units. And so the perception of the customer toward the company's product will change. And this will help the company to increase their sale by 50,000. Now the sale is 1,50,000. So the sale has increased by 50,000. Okay. So if the sales return is nil, means the company is not supplying defective units, in such case, the sale of the company will increase by 10%. Okay. So this is the condition. I hope, see, the question is so easy. Is it difficult to understand the question? So easy to understand. Is it difficult to understand the question? No, not at all. Yes, but do underline these points. These points are very important, so I have underlined these points. So you can underline them. Now let us read the question, the first part of the question. The first part of the question is analyze the cost of poor quality per annum due to supply of defective item to the customer. Now for this, I want all of you to give me the answer. I'm giving you time. Consider the cost of poor quality per annum due to supply of defective unit and give me the answer. Give me the answer. I'm giving you time to understand. Give me the answer. Can you give me the answer? Can you people? Yes, please give me the answer. Cost of poor quality per annum due to supply of defective units. The company is supplying these defective units. You know that here the company is supplying these 5,000 defective units. And on this unit, the company is incurring cost. What is the cost? These variable costs, the company is incurring the raw material cost, assembly and machining cost, delivery cost. This is the cost the company is incurring on these units. The company is incurring cost on these unit. I want to show the image I have. No, I didn't put any image. Okay. So what is the value here? Can you tell me the value? Can you tell me the value? Okay, I got answer from Muthu from Kochi. Okay, this is the cost for the company. This is complete a loss. And because of this, since the company is selling defective units, you can see here, since the company is supplying these 5,000 defective units, and because of which the sale of the company has reduced by 50,000. You can see here, if the company will not supply these defective units, the sales return will be nil, and the customer perception about the company's product will improve and the sale will increase by 50,000. So it means that if the organization will supply these defective units, then the sale will reduce by 50,000. Now, if the organization is supplying these 50,000 units, sorry, if this organization is supplying these 5,000 defective units to the customer, in such case, what happen? If the organization is supplying these 5,000 defective units to the customer, in such case, what happen? The customer perspective is very bad about the company's product. Oh, this company is providing me defective unit, you should not buy this product. So this, because of this, the sale of the organization will reduce by that 50,000, and the company is losing its contribution on these products. The contribution is 1,000. So on the loss of sale of this 50,000, on this loss of sale, the organization is losing this contribution 1,000. This value is the organization is losing this also. This is also their loss. So this is the complete cost. Okay. Cost of poor quality. The organization is incurring. Okay. Tell me the answer. I hope you understand this. I hope you understand this. Okay. So this is what we have in answer. Cost of poor quality due to supply of defective unit, internal failure cost and external failure cost. In this case, what is the internal and external failure cost? The organization is having external failure cost. Sales return is external failure cost because the organization have to replace these 5,000 unit. Also, because of bad reputation, sale 50,000 sale is lost, which is also external failure cost. So not just the guarantee, warranty, compensation, sales return will come. If due to bad reputation, because of these kind of problem, bad reputation, your sale is decreased, that will also come under external failure cost. So this will come under, this is a kind of external failure cost. Okay, I hope this is clear to all of you. Now the next point, let us understand the next point. Let us understand the next point. This is the next point. The company management is considering a proposal to implement the inspection process immediately before delivery of the product to customer. So this is the organization, they are receiving the raw material from the supplier. They are receiving the raw material from the supplier and they are manufacturing the final product here, the finished good. Now, before delivery of this finished good to the customer, the organization want to implement the inspection process at this place before delivery of the product to the customer. And this will cost them 2 crore per annum. Okay, now in this case, what happened? Those 5,000 units which was reaching to the customer, 5,000 unit which was reaching to the customer, you can save that. Okay, now no defective unit are reaching to customer, because of which the customer perception of about the quality will improve, that the company do not sell bad quality product. Okay, now because of which the sale will increase by 50,000 units. Okay, sale will increase more. Earlier the sale was 1 lakh, now the sale is 1,50,000. The sale will increase by 50,000, but since you are doing inspection at this place, so it means that you have already produced the defective units. You are just checking that yes, these defective units, I will not let them to reach my customer. At this place, if you are doing inspection, you are inspecting the finished good. It means that you have already produced the defective units. Okay, if you are inspecting the finished good, it means that you have already produced the defective units. This defective unit will not reach to the customer. So now, since the defective unit is not reached to the customer perception toward the quality will improve, and hence the sale will increase by 50,000. Now the sale will increase by 50,000. Okay. So on 1 lakh, the company was producing defective units. On 1 lakh, the company was producing 5,000 defective units. So this percent is, I hope, 5%. Okay. So if the company wants to produce additional 50,000 units, because now the sale has increased, additional 50,000, on such 50,000 units, more defect, the organization will produce more defect, 2,500. 5% of this 50,000. I hope you understand why I'm taking this additional defect. Why? Because we are inspecting the product at this place. At this place, we have already produced the finished good, and now we are checking the goods. It means that the organization will have produced these 5,000 defective units, though this defective product are not reaching to the customer. Similarly, if the sale is increased by 50,000, on such increased sale, the organization will produce defective units. That is on these 2,500 defective units, though this defect will not reach to the customer. Though these defects will not reach to the customer. Tell me whether this is clear to you or not, or you want me to repeat this. Please tell me it is clear or not. No response. Okay. So in this case, you are producing additional defective units. So now see here that you have produced those defective unit, 5,000 defective units, but you are saving the delivery cost on this. Saving delivery cost. What is the delivery cost? Delivery cost is 100. Okay. On these 5,000 units, you are saving 100. This delivery cost, you are saving this. Why? Because you have already produced these 5,000 units, but this 5,000 unit has not reached to the customer. So you are saving the delivery cost, the cost which you will incur for taking this product to the customer. You're saving that cost, which is this amount. You're saving this cost. But since your sale has increased by 50,000, so the cost on additional defect, the additional defect is 2,500 units. On this, the additional cost, the cost will be, you have to incur this cost, but not this cost, because you will find the defective units before taking this defective unit to the customer. You will find it. So you will consider these two costs, 1,400. Can you tell me this value? Can you tell me this value? $35 lakh. Okay, this is the cost on additional defect. This is our saving, this is the cost. And because the sale has increased by 50,000, so we will consider the contribution on increase sale. Contribution on increased sale, the sale has increased by 50,000 and the contribution on it is 1,000. So this value is 5. Okay. So we will add this and we will subtract this because this is the cost. Okay. You can tell me the value. I think this value is 2708. I think this value is this. Okay. Yes. So in this case, what happened? In this case, you are doing the inspection of the finished good, which is reaching to the customer before the product is reaching to the customer. Let us see the third case. The third case, this is the third case which we have. Quality control investigation revealed that defective production is entirely on account of inferior quality raw material. Now they are saying that defects arises because of the inferior quality of raw material. Okay, the raw material which you receive from supplier. Okay, the defective unit which you receive from the supplier. The quality control investigation revealed that defective production is because you are receiving the inferior quality of raw material from the supplier. You are receiving your product from 30 different suppliers. Currently, there is no inspection at the procurement stage. They are saying at present, there is no inspection. What you were doing in previous part 2, you were inspecting at this place. Means you have already produced the finished good, you have already produced the defective units, now you are inspecting them and trying to remove the defective units. But he is saying instead of doing inspection at this place, you should inspect at this place, because you are receiving inferior quality of raw material, because of which the organization is producing defective units. So if you will put inspection at this place, the chances of production of defective unit will reduce itself. Instead of producing the defective units and try to find out the defect and then remove the defect, instead of doing that, you should put inspection at this place in order to reduce the defects. Okay. So they are saying about all these things, but for this they need cost of rupees 4 crore. Okay, now let us see what is the requirement of the question. Analyze the net benefit to the company if it implement this proposal. Okay, if they implement the production at this place, find the cost. See, if the organization is producing, if the organization is inspecting the good at this place, what happens? Obviously, the defects will reduce. Okay, defects will reduce. Okay, and the sale of the company will improve by again 50,000. So you will consider the contribution you have at this place. Okay. So see, we have two conditions. One condition is that inspecting the goods at this place, and second condition is that inspecting the raw material which you are receiving from the supplier at this place. Okay. Now, if you will put in inspection at this place, then what will happen? In such case, those 5,000 defective units, you will not produce those 5,000 defective units. Okay, you will not produce those 5,000 unit on which you were incurring cost this 1,500. That is 75 lakh. You will save this cost. Also, your sale will increase. So the contribution on increased sale, you will consider contribution on increased sale. Your sale was increased by 50,000. So on this contribution, 1,000. Okay, this is your saving. This is your saving. If you will implement the inspection at this place, you will not produce those 5,000 defective units, and therefore the entire cost incurred by you on those defective units will be saved. Similarly, if you will not produce those 5,000 defective units, that product will not reach to the customer, and hence the customer perspective toward your product will improve, and hence your sale will increase. Your sale will increase. Okay. So this is the saving of yours if you will put the inspection process at this place. But for this, you have to incur the cost. Inspection cost at this place is 4 crore. So you can see here that what is your net benefit. Your net benefit at this place is 1,75,000. Okay, 75 lakh this, and 4 crore is your inspection cost. So this net benefit at this place is this. Now the next portion of the question is that they're asking you, between the inspection at the end process and at the place of raw material, which is better, which is profitable, and which is better for long-term strategy? They are asking you two questions. Okay, profitability, according to profit, which one is better? You can see here that if you will put inspection at this place, the net benefit is this, and if you will put inspection at this place, the net benefit is this. So if you will consider the financial perspective, I will say, according to financial perspective, putting the inspection at this place is good. Okay, putting the inspection at this place is good because in this case, the organization is having high profit. Okay, the financial perspective, if we will consider, it is better to put inspection at this place. But If we will consider the non-financial factors, then in case of non-financial factors, we will say don't produce defective units. Don't do like producing defective units, then inspecting them. Instead, try to do not to produce defective units. Try to achieve this. Okay. And for this, if we consider this long-term perspective, I will say that implementing the inspection at this place will be good, because though we are incurring some additional, some less benefit at this place, means we are incurring high cost at this place, but in long term this will be good because the organization will not produce defective units. Okay, and that defective unit will not reach to the customer. So I hope this is clear. Is there any doubt? So you can answer, because in the question third, fourth question, they are asking you two things. Profitability means financially, you can tell that financially. The second, this proposal is better financially. This is better. Putting the inspection before the product is reaching to final product means second portion is better. While for long-term perspective, if you want to see the long-term perspective, this portion is better. Is there any doubt? Tell me the doubt if there is any doubt. Okay, you understood. I think there is no doubt. Okay, I think I should finish this session. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. If you people have any doubt, you can ask me. Please ask me your doubt if you have any doubt. Anything which you want to ask me? Okay, there is no query. I think I should finish this first session. Thank you so much. Good night. Take care.